Hi everyone, I'm Mumu from Susan's family. Today I'll teach you how to make butterfly wind chime, tulip version. This wind chime is divided into 3 parts, the butterfly, the bouquet and the wind chime assembly. First, make the butterfly part, then, make the bouquet part. Finally, assemble the wind chime. Pay attention, in some parts, we'll use variegated yarn for crocheting. The starting position with different colors will result in a different look. The crocheted effect will also be different. You can take yarn according to the finished product. This type of yarn is not easy to unravel. First, learn the method. Then start crocheting after learning. You can also use other scrap yarn to practice first. Then use the corresponding yarn to crochet later. Start by learning the butterfly. They are 2 identical ones. Each butterfly consists of the front wings, the back wings, the body and decorations, 4 parts to assemble. First, learn how to crochet the front wing of the butterfly. It is divided into the main part and the edge. The main part starts with a foundation chain. Work back and forth in rows. You need to crochet 2 identical main fabric pieces. Before starting, let's take a look at the chart. In the chart, H+ number indicates the row number. The column labeled Stitch Instructions indicates the stitch techniques and increasing or decreasing details required when crocheting that row. The total stitches column shows the total number of stitches after completing all the work in that row. Several crochet stitches will be applicated, all marked on the chart, so we won't list them one by one here. Now watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Start by working the main part. Take the corresponding yarn. Please pay attention to choose your preferred color segment according to your preference. The yarn used for the swatch is random. As you crochet, remember to refer to the chart and use the corresponding hook size. For specific yarn, color scheme, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. The starting chain is 2ch. This means the cast-on method is a chain cast-on. Chain 2 stitches. First, begin with a chain stitch. Work 2 chains. The cast-on is now complete. Now move on to row 1. Here you see 2, which means start crocheting from the second to last stitch of the foundation chain. Count back from the side where the hook is. 1, 2. This is the second to last stitch. The right side of the chain looks like a V-shaped loop. Insert your hook into the top half of the V-shaped loop. Make a single crochet increase. Row 1 is now complete. Take the right side of row 1 single crochets as the front side of the whole piece. Now move on to row 2. Work 1 chain as beginning chain. Turn the work. Then make 1 single crochet. Remember to work back and forth. The stitch is located at the top left. On the left side, make a SC2 in 1 in the remaining stitch. Row 2 is now complete. Now start row 3. Work 1 chain as beginning chain. At the beginning of each following row, always work 1 chain as beginning chain. Turn the work. Make a single crochet increase. Then make 1 single crochet. Finally, make 1 single crochet increase. Row 3 is now complete. Continue to crochet row 4. The number before X indicates how many single crochets to make. Here it means make 4 single crochets. Finally, make 1 single crochet increase. Now let's learn a method to count the rows. Odd-numbered rows show the texture on the right side of the single crochet, which looks like individual V-shapes. Even-numbered rows show the wrong side texture, where a horizontal strand appears across the top. Simply alternate between front and back to count the rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is when working back and forth in rows. This is how to count the rows. Row 4 is now complete. Rows 5 through 7. Follow a similar crocheting method as the previous rows, only the stitch count differs. Row 8 is worked even, meaning 1 single crochet in each stitch. The method is simple. Everyone can refer to the pattern and finish row 8. Remember to check the number of stitches after completing each row. The sample swatch here has completed the first 8 rows. Now continue to row 9. Make 1 beginning chain. First, make 1 slip stitch. Slip stitches do not need to be pulled tight. Then work 9 single crochets evenly into each stitch. Finally, make 1 single crochet increase. Row 9 is now complete. Continue to row 10. First, work 10 single crochets evenly into each stitch. One single crochet increase. K means skip a stitch, which is to skip 1 stitch without crocheting. Row 10 is now complete. Row 11 to row 12. Please follow the chart to crochet. Continue all the way to the last slip stitch of row 12. The swatch has reached the corresponding position. After completing the slip stitch, make 1 chain to secure. Then pull out the yarn tail. Cut the yarn. Pull tight. This completes row 12. Now move on to row 13. First turn the work. Join the yarn in the 4th stitch from the end of row 12. Place the yarn tail behind the fabric. Draw the yarn through. Then crochet 1 chain. Pull tight. This completes the yarn join. For future joins, you can follow this method. Now we've reached X2T. Brackets mean to crochet in the same stitch. First, make 1 single crochet, place the yarn tail on the hook. Crochet and hide it at the same time. Then work 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. This completes the part inside the brackets. You can see this creates a curved shape. Then work 8 single crochets evenly into each stitch. Row 13 is now complete. Rows 14 and 15. You can follow the chart to finish these 2 rows. Note that K3 appears in row 14. The number here indicates how many stitches to skip. I've already completed row 15. Now begin row 16. Here comes a new stitch technique. Insert the hook into the left stitch. A mean single crochet decrease. Insert the hook into the left stitch. Yarn over and pull through. This is 1 incomplete single crochet, then insert into the adjacent stitch. Yarn over and pull through. Complete the second incomplete single crochet. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Pull through all 3 loops at once. Draw the yarn through. Single crochet decrease completed. Then continue to finish this row following the chart. The remaining rows are simple. Pay attention to the joining position on row 17 after turning the work. On the 3rd to last stitch of row 16. Then start crocheting. Everyone please continue to complete according to the chart. This completes the explanation of the front wing main part. Next, we'll learn the left side edge. Here, left and right refer to when the butterfly is laid flat, facing us. First work back and forth on the main part. Then crochet along the edge. The new stitch technique used here is FB double crochet increase and W3 single crochets into one stitch. Now watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Start with row 1. Take the corresponding yarn. Then take one piece of the front wing main part. Position the main part so that the wrong side of the last row faces you. On the last row of the main part, join the yarn in the first chain from the right. Pick up the back 2 loops. Then work 2CHSL times 5. The parentheses here indicate a group. Times number indicates the number of times to repeat the pattern. First work 2 chains. You can see there are 5 circular arcs on the main part. We make 1 slip stitch at the intersection of the first and second arc from the left. Work 1 slip stitch. Pick up the back loop only. This completes the content inside the parentheses once. Then work 2 chains. At the intersection of the second and third arcs, make 1 slip stitch. Pick up the back loop only. This completes the second repetition of the content inside the parentheses. Next, work 2 chains. Make 1 slip stitch at the junction of the next circular arc. Pay attention, the slip stitch in the last group should be worked into the chain of row 9. Everyone follow this method to complete the remaining 3 repetitions. This completes the explanation for row 1. Now move on to row 2. Make 1 beginning chain. Then crochet 3 single crochets into the left chain space. Finish it. Crochet 3 single crochets into each of the remaining 4 chain spaces. You can hide the yarn tail as you crochet along. This completes row 2. The method for rows 3 and 4 is simple. Every 1 crochet to the FV double crochet increase in row 4. The swatch has already reached the double crochet increase point. FV means working 2 double crochets in the same stitch. Finally, complete all the steps inside the brackets. This completes row 4. Next, I'll demonstrate row 5, using the swatch. Make 1 beginning chain to start. Turn the work. Then into the left side chain space. Work 1 single crochet. Next pick up both loops on the left side chain. Make a SC2 in 1. Pay attention not to crochet into the stitch on the left. Now we meet W3 SC in 1. Work 3 single crochets into the stitch on the left. The 3 SC in 1 is completed. Then pick up stitches, and follow the pattern chart to crochet the corresponding stitch. On the slip stitch, pick up 2 strands and crochet them together. Into the last stitch. Work 3 single crochets in 1 stitch. Then along the left edge. Pick a suitable position. Work 4 single crochets. After completing, along the edge of the main part, pick up the chain spaces between rows. Evenly work 8 single crochets. Once completed, reach the starting point of the main part. Pick the insertion point of the first row. Work 3 single crochets in 1 stitch. Weave in the starting tail together. After completing, work single crochets evenly into each stitch along the edge of the main part. After completing, evenly work 3 single crochets along the edge. After completing, pull up a large loop, leave a 5 cm yarn tail and cut the yarn. Now proceed to fasten off. Bring the crochet hook out through the first single crochet stitch on the left side. Tuck the yarn to the wrong side. Then come out through the braid where the tail is located. Continue tucking to the wrong side. Adjust it a bit. This way, the joining seam at the end is invisible. Finally, weave in all ends on the wrong side. So one left front wing is completed. The right front wing is symmetrical to the left one. For the right front wing edge, keep the right side facing you. Join the yarn at the back loop of the chain stitch in row 9 of the main part. Work the slip stitch of row 1 at the junctions of the 5 arcs on the main part. Pick up one strand at a suitable position on the back side for insertion. Finally, pick a suitable spot along the edge for the stitch. Rows 2 to 4 follow a similar crocheting method as the left side. Complete them accordingly. For row 5 on the right edge, crochet along the edge. The insertion point is perfectly symmetrical to the left edge. Here I'll demonstrate the technique using a swatch. Starting at the double crochet stitch of row 4, work 1 single crochet and 3 SC1 in the same stitch. Then on the chain stitch along the side, pick up 2 strands and work a single crochet increase. Work 1 single crochet in the chain space. Then correspondingly work 3 single crochets. Starting from the last row on the main part side. Work corresponding single crochets. At the beginning chain, work 1 single crochet and 3 SC1. On the other side, correspondingly work 8 single crochets. Along the edge side, correspondingly work 4 single crochets. Then cut the yarn and fasten off. Weave in the yarn tails. This completes the right edge. The front wing is now finished. Next, let's learn the back wing. The back wing also consists of the main part and left, right edges. Start the main part with a foundation chain. Work back and forth in rows. The crocheting method is similar to that of the front wing's main part, only the stitch count and row count are different. Do not break the yarn while crocheting the back wing main part. A total of 2 main parts need to be crocheted. You can refer to the pattern to complete them. This is what the back wing main part looks like when completed. The explanation for the back wing main part is now done. Back wing left side edge. First work back and forth on the main part. Then crochet along the edge. The new stitch technique used is TV, half double crochet increase. Now, let's show. Take the corresponding yarn. Position the back wing main part with the right side towards you. On the 8th row of the back wing main part, right side. Pick up the edge. Join the yarn with these 2 strands. Then work 2 chains. Next, on the 9th row stitch of the left side. Pick up 1 strand and make 1 slip stitch. This completes 1 group. A total of 4 groups need to be crocheted. These 4 slip stitches need to be evenly spaced. Pick 1 strand from the stitch of the 9th row and work. The last slip stitch. Work it into the edge of the 9th row. Everyone finish the remaining 3 groups. For rows 2 to 6, the method is the same as the front wing edge crocheting method, only the number of stitches and rows are different. On the 6th row, there is a TV, half double crochet increase, which means working 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. You can refer to the chart and crochet up to the half double crochet increase position. The swatch has already reached the corresponding position of the 6th row. First work 1 half double crochet. Then work another half double crochet in the same position. This completes the half double crochet increase. Continue following the chart to finish this row. This completes the 6th row. Next, I'll demonstrate the 7th row technique using the swatch. Make one beginning chain to start. Turn the work. Follow the pattern chart and crochet the corresponding stitch. After completing the 2nd slip stitch, chain 7. Reverse 3 means to begin crocheting from the 3rd stitch from the end. Starting from the 3rd stitch from the end, pick up the front loop and work 2 half double crochets correspondingly. Three single crochets. Continue picking up stitches and crocheting the corresponding stitch pattern. After completing 3 SC in 1, at the side edge, pick up the edge and work 1 single crochet increase. One single crochet. 1 single crochet increase. 2 single crochets. On the side of the main part, correspondingly work 8 single crochets. At the starting stitch, work 3 SC in 1. Continue picking up along the side and correspondingly work 7 single crochets. On the edge side, correspondingly work 4 single crochets. On the skipped stitch on the left side, work 3 SC in 1. In the next stitch, work 1 half double crochet and 1 single crochet. Pull up a large loop, cut the yarn and fasten off. Weave in the yarn tail along the texture on the wrong side. This completes the explanation for the left edge. Finally, let's learn the right edge. First, work back and forth on the main part of the rear wing. Then crochet along the edge. Watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Take the corresponding yarn. Then take the other rear wing main part. Position the wrong side of row 12 facing you. Join the yarn at the right side of row 9. Pick up 2 strands from the back loop. Then work 2 chains. Next, on the stitch of row 9 on the left side, pick up 1 strand and work a slip stitch. This completes 1 group. A total of 4 groups are needed. They should be worked evenly. On 1 strand at the wrong side of row 9 on the main part. Complete the remaining 3 groups. Rows 2 to 6. The method is simple. Just follow the chart to crochet. Now I'll demonstrate row 7, using a swatch. Make 1 beginning chain to start. Turn the work, refer to the chart and work the corresponding stitch pattern. At the corners, work 3 single crochets in 1 stitch. On the side positions, work the corresponding stitches. On the main part side, work 7 single crochets corresponding. Continue to follow the pattern and crochet the corresponding stitches. After completing, cut the yarn and fasten off. Thread it through from underneath the slip stitch loop, where you started. Weave in the yarn tail to hide it. This completes the right edge. The back wings are now fully explained. Next, let's learn how to make the body. Use the foundation chain method to start. Follow the magic ring, form a loop. Watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Start with a chain stitch. After completing, begin from the second stitch from your hook. Pick up the top loop of the chain and work corresponding single crochet. In the last chain, work 3 single crochets into the same stitch. After completing, you've reached the other side of the starting chain. Insert your hook into the corresponding stitch's insertion point from before. Correspondingly make single crochet. Pay attention, do not work the first stitch into the rightmost insertion point. Weave in the beginning tail of the yarn together. Make 1 single crochet increase, SC2 in 1, in the last insertion point. Then into the starting stitch. Work 1 slip stitch. The slip stitch is not indicated in the form. When crocheting in rounds, always end with a slip stitch. Doesn't count as 1 stitch? Pull tight. This completes the first round. We'll use the clearer texture side as the right side. Cut off the unsecured yarn tails. Move on to round 2. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. This beginning chain is not indicated in the table. When crocheting in rounds, starting with single crochet, always make 1 chain as beginning chain. Beginning chain doesn't count as a stitch. Start from the slip stitch position of the previous round. Pick up stitches, and work the corresponding stitch pattern. Join with a slip stitch to the first stitch where you started. Do not tighten the slip stitch here. Leave a 10 cm tail and fasten off. You can pull the thread through the stitch to the left of the slip stitch insertion point. Hide the yarn tail along the texture. Everyone finish this part. That completes round 2. The body is now crocheted. Finally proceed to decoration and assembly. Divide it into line embroidery, wing sewing, body securing and half beads as separate parts. Line embroidery is embroidered on the front and back wing main parts. Then sew the wings on the same side together. Then secure the body and half beads. Watch my demonstration for the specific making method. The sample uses the front wing for demonstration. First, use a water-soluble pen to draw the lines you need to embroider on the fabric piece. You can refer to the finished product, or draw according to your own preference. If there are any mistakes in the drawing, you can wipe it off with a wet tissue and redraw. After finishing the drawing, cut a piece of yarn about 50 cm long. Then proceed to separate the strands. Lightly pinch one end of the yarn with your left hand. Twist and open the yarn with your right hand. You'll see there are 4 strands. Then remove 2 strands. Pull out 1 strand at a time. Then thread the 2-strand yarn into the sewing needle. First insert it from the back of the fabric. After tying a knot, draw through from the front side. Then follow the drawn lines to embroider. Each stitch should cover about 2 rows. You can also adjust according to your preference. Then exit from the back. Insert into the middle of the first stitch. Then pass through the center of the piece. When reaching the edge of the main part, simply pass to the back of the fabric at the edge. Insert the yarn into the stitch from the back loop. Weave in a few stitches. Then exit at one end of the next line. Continue embroidering. When encountering curved areas, insert directly. Wherever lines don't intersect. Always hide the yarn at the back by weaving in a few stitches. Then exit at the end point of the next line. After finishing the last line, tie a knot on the wrong side. Then hide the yarn tail. Everyone follow this method to embroider all the pieces. Next, sew on the wings. Here I'll demonstrate using a swatch. Take out the front and back wings on the left side. Match the tip corresponding to the starting point of the main part. Along this side where they meet. 3 SC and 1 at the tip. Start sewing from the first stitch on the left side. Take same color yarn from the edge and thread the needle. Secure the yarn on the wrong side. Then pick up stitches, and sew corresponding. For the front wing, pay attention to find the SC3 and 1, the stitch on the right side. Whip stitch 5 stitches. You can return, and sew again to secure firmly. After completing, tie off and weave in the ends neatly. One wing is now sewn on. Using the same method, symmetrically attach the other wing. Everyone complete this step. Finally secure the body and half beads. First position the sewn wings correctly. Right side facing up. Body with wrong side facing up. Place vertically centered on the wings where they meet. Make sure the position is correct. Use a glue stick to attach. If you have a hot glue gun, insert the glue stick. Connect to power. Turn on the switch and preheat. Without a glue gun, you can use a lighter to melt the glue stick for attachment. When gluing with a glue gun, be mindful to work quickly and accurately. Don't burn your hands. The body is now secured. Finally, take out the half beads. Large half beads. 3 beads on each side. Secure them above the edges on both sides of the front wings. You can adjust the exact position as desired. Attach 1 bead at the very end of each back wing. Glue the small half beads along the lower edge of the back wings. For curved areas like this, random colors for the sample half beads. Simply attach symmetrically on the other side. Everyone complete this step. That concludes the decoration and assembly instructions. One butterfly is explained. Assemble the other butterfly using the same method. Everyone complete it. The butterflies are explained. Next, learn the bouquet. Divide it into small flower branches, large flower branches, leaves and accessories assembly parts. First, learn the small flower branch. Total of 2. Each small flower branch consists of a small bud, calyx and assembly parts. First, learn the small bud. We will start from foundation chain. Work back and forth along the starting chain. Watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. First, let's cast on. Wrap the yarn tail around the left little finger. Thread it through between the middle finger and index finger. Then pinch the yarn tail with thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Position it underneath the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Left hand thumb and middle finger. Pinch the crossing point of the loop. Put the hook on the left side of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This slip knot does not count as a stitch. Gently tighten. Now begin to crochet chain stitches. Yarn over and draw through. 1 chain stitch is completed. Each braid like this represents 1 stitch. Continue crocheting chain stitches. Yarn over and draw through. This is the second stitch. Repeat this process. Continue crocheting chain stitches all the way down to the required number of stitches. Refer to the chart for the exact number of stitches. The casting on is now complete. Now work row 1. First crochet 2 chains. Then into the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is, this stitch. Pick up the top loop of the chain, meaning just 1 strand like this. Work 1 double crochet. Yarn over once. Insert into the corresponding position. Pull the yarn through. 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. 2 loops remain. Yarn over and draw through the remaining loops in once. 1 double crochet is now complete. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Continue on the left side chain. Pick up the half loop and work 1 double crochet, yarn over. Insert. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over on after another and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 2 times. 1, 2. 1 double crochet is now complete. Continue with 2 chain stitches. Work 1 slip stitch on the left side chain. Insert. Draw the yarn through. Pull through all loops on the hook in once. Slip stitch complete. The slip stitch on the oval shape does not need to be tightened. We will treat the crocheted stitches as a pattern. Continue to work 1 more pattern. First make 2 chain stitches. On the 2 chains on the left side, correspondingly make 2 double crochets. Two chain stitches. Work 1 slip stitch in the next chain. Insert. Pull the yarn through. Pull through all loops on the hook in once. Slip stitch complete. The second pattern is also completed. Continue to work 2 more patterns in the same way. For the slip stitch of the last pattern, make it exactly into the final chain stitch. Cut the yarn after completing. Secure with 1 chain stitch. Stretch the loop. Leave a 20 cm yarn tail and cut off. Pull tight. We will use the clearer texture side as the right side of the piece. If you can't tell, mark it with a stitch marker. We won't repeat this reminder later. Now the small flower bud is completed. Next, learn how to make the calyx. Start with an adjustable magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. The new stitch technique used is ch1 picket. Watch me demonstrate the crocheting method. First, cast on the adjustable magic ring. Pick up the yarn tail with your right hand. Wrap the yarn around your left index finger twice. Now there are 3 strands of yarn on your index finger. Pinch the overlapping part of the loops with your right thumb and index finger. Take it out. Then position the yarn over your left hand. Transfer the loop between your left middle finger and thumb. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Insert into the loop. Place the hook on the left side of the yarn. Draw the yarn through. There is 1 loop on the hook. Make 1 chain stitch to secure. Pull tight. The magic ring is complete. Move on to the first round. Begin with 2 chain stitches. Work 1 double crochet into the magic ring. ch1 picket. Chain 1. Then insert into the front loop of the double crochet below. That is, the strand of the stitch closest to you. and the lower one here. Work 1 slip stitch. Gently tighten. The CH1 picket is completed. We'll call it picket for short from now on. Continue with 2 chain stitches. Work 1 slip stitch into the ring. Do not tighten. We'll treat the crocheted stitches as a group. Continue to crochet 1 more group, 2 chain stitches, 1 double crochet, 1 picket stitch. First work 1 chain stitch. Then insert the hook into the front loop of the previous double crochet stitch and the lower strand. Work 1 slip stitch. Gently tighten. Picket complete. Chain 2 and a slip stitch. Second group done. Continue to work another group. After that, close the magic ring. First, gently pull the starting tail of the yarn. 1 loop is moving. Tighten the moving loop. Only 1 loop remains. Simply pull tight the tail. Don't pull too tight here. The loop is now closed. Leave a 40 cm yarn tail and cut the yarn. We'll continue with the side with clearer texture as the right side. Tuck in the short tail on the wrong side. You can weave in a few more stitches if needed. Trim off excess tail. This completes the sepal. Finally, assemble the small flower branch. First, take out the small bud. Here I'll demonstrate using a swatch. Use random colors. Keep the wrong side facing out. First, thread the long tail into the yarn needle. Start rolling from the beginning chain. Use the reserved yarn tail to sew a few stitches and secure the shape. After completing, tie a knot and hide the end. Next, take the wire. Cut about 1/8 cm. Pick up a few strands underneath the small bud and pass through. If it's hard to thread here, use a needle for assistance. Fold in half. Tighten. Then remove the calyx. Wrong side up. Insert from the center of the starting chain to the right side. If it's difficult to pass through here, you can use the hook to expand the position. Thread the reserved yarn tail of the calyx into the sewing needle. Sew the calyx to the small bud. Try not to leave obvious sewing marks. After completing, thread the end to the starting chain. Wrap the yarn around the wire. You can slightly apply a bit of glue to secure it. Pay attention not to use too much. Wrap the yarn evenly and neatly. After finishing, trim off the excess. Secure with glue. One small flower branch is now assembled. Make the other small flower branch using the same method. Now learn the large flower branch. 4 pieces. Each consists of 2 sections, petals and assembly. First learn the petals. Use chain cast on method. Follow the magic ring, form a loop. Watch my demonstration of the crocheting method. First chain the corresponding number of stitches. After completing, crochet R1, make 1 chain as the turning chain for single crochet on the second to last chain. Insert hook into front loop only and work 1 single crochet. Insert. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through in once. Single crochet completed. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Place a marker to mark it. Continue with 1/2 double crochet, yarn over. Insert. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through in once. Half double crochet completed. Continue correspondingly, make 4 double crochets. Work 1/2 double crochet in the next chain. Yarn over. Insert. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through in once. Half double crochet completed. Work 3 single crochets in the last chain. After completing, reach the other side of the starting chain. Insert into the previous half double crochet's insertion point. Work 1/2 double crochet. Pay attention not to insert into the single crochet's insertion point. Weave in the yarn tails together. Continue inserting into such insertion points. Work stitches symmetrical to the right side. Into the last single crochet's insertion point. Work 1 single crochet, then join with a slip stitch at the marker position. Leave a 30 cm yarn tail and cut the yarn. Trim off any remaining yarn tails that are not needed. We also use the side with clearer texture as the right side. One petal is now completed. Crochet the remaining petals using the same method. Note that 8 petals need to have long yarn tails reserved. For the other petals, reserve a 5 cm yarn tail and weave in on the wrong side. Once all petals are crocheted, now let's assemble the flower branch. First take out 5 petals. Among them, 2 have yarn tails left. Thread one of the yarn tails into a sewing needle. Place it with the petal without a tail, wrong sides facing each other. Align the slip stitch positions, meaning the pointed end without slip stitch marks should face upward. Whip stitch the 3 adjacent stitches at the base. Sew through the corresponding stitches as aligned. After completing, sew back to the bottom. Then sew the other side. Sew back to the bottom again. Leave the yarn tail unsecured for now. There will be some gaps in the middle of the petals. Continue attaching the remaining 3 petals, using the reserved yarn tails, in the same way as before. Complete this step. This is what it looks like when the 3 petals are sewn on. Leave the yarn tails on the outside unsecured for now. Next, take one smallest pearl and an 1/8 centimeter wire. Thread it through the small pearl. The size of the sample pearls is random. Fold in half. Tighten. Draw through the front side of 2 petals. Pull down to the bottom. Then draw through the middle of 3 petals. Hook the previously left yarn tail together here. Tidy it up. Keep them close together. Stagger the 2 layers of petals slightly. Then take the yarn for crocheting the calyx. Wrap the yarn around the wire. Wrap the reserved yarn tail in as well. Wrap tightly at the base of the flower. Finally secure the yarn. One large flower branch is now complete. Assemble the remaining large flower branches using the same method. That's all for the large flower branches. Finally, let's learn how to make leaves. Use the foundation chain method to start. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise from the beginning chain. Watch me demonstrate the crocheting method. First, make a foundation chain with the corresponding number of stitches. Then complete and begin the first round. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Then start from the second to last chain. Correspondingly make 2 single crochets. Nine half double crochets. Three single crochets. Work 1 slip stitch in the last chain. 2 chains and 1 slip stitch. Now reach the other side of the beginning chain. Insert the hook into the corresponding stitch position from before. Crochet the corresponding stitches. Finish with a slip stitch to complete. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail and cut the yarn. Weave in the tail on the blurry texture's wrong side. One leaf is now completed. Crochet the remaining leaves using the same method. Finally proceed to assembly. Divide into 2 parts, large pearls and bouquet assembly. Watch me demonstrate the specific making method. Start by assembling the large pearls. Cut an 1/8 cm piece of wire. Insert a large pearl onto the wire. Fold it in half. Tighten. One large pearl is done. Assemble the remaining large pearls using the same method. Now assemble the completed parts together. Take one large flower branch, one small flower branch, and one large pearl. Put them together. Place one large flower branch on top. Slightly below it, position the small flower branch and the large pearl. Pay attention to staggering left and right. Refer to the finished product for the exact shape. Adjust according to your preference. Small sample placement is random. Yarn over at 1/3 of the large flower branch stem. Use the same yarn as the leaves. Wrap as neatly and nicely as possible. Wrap about 1/5 cm. Add another large flower branch. And the large pearl. Staggered as well. Continue wrapping downward. Make sure the total length of the bouquet is about 8 cm. Secure the yarn. Cut off the excess wire. Then take 4 leaves. Place one leaf with the right side, facing up behind the top large pearl. Note that the pointed end is the leaf tip. All leaf tips should face upward. Once the position fits properly, secure it with glue. A glue gun works too. Attach one leaf behind the bottom large pearl. Below that, stagger 2 more leaves. Pay attention to the staggered distribution of the leaves. Cover the marked lines behind. You can adjust the exact positions according to your preference, as long as the overall shape looks nice. This bouquet is now completed. Assemble the other one using the same method. That's all for the bouquet explanation. Now let's move on to assembling the wind chime, including the wind chime decorations, hook and overall assembly of these parts. Watch me demonstrate the specific making method. Here I'll use a swatch to demonstrate. Color scheme is not for reference. The wind chime decorations are mainly placed on one side at the bottom of the butterfly, along the edge of the hind wing side. Start and end about 1 centimeter away from the corner. Basically arrange alternately following the pattern of aluminum tubes and beads. Refer to the diagram for specific decoration placement, or adjust according to your preference. First, thread the leftmost string. Take a piece of gold thread, around 30 cm in length. If you want the wind chime to hang longer, cut the thread longer each time. Insert into the beading needle. Insert from the end of the aluminum tube with the hole, and draw through the hole on the other side. Leave a little yarn tail and tie a knot. Be mindful not to pull too tight. Apply a small amount of glue to prevent the yarn tail from slipping out. Then weave back into the hole. Exit from one end. Hide the knot inside the tube. Trim off excess tail. Tuck the yarn tail inside as well. Thread on one green bead, one medium pearl, then insert into the edge of the butterfly's back wing on the wrong side. Leave the excess tail on top. Convenient for adjusting length and tying off later. The first strand is complete. Take another piece of gold thread, make it slightly longer. Refer to the pattern. Insert into the second wind chime on the left side. Take the bottom group of beads. And thread them, in order from top to bottom. That is, one medium pearl, All wind chimes use medium pearls, referred to simply as pearl from now on. 1 yellow bead. 1 blue flower bead. Orientation can be determined according to preference. Finally, insert 1 glass leaf. Then thread back through the same path. Adjust the beads into place. Leave just a little yarn tail at the end. Apply glue to the gold thread above the leaf. Adjust the beads again to secure them firmly in place. Pay attention, keep the bottom bead hanging naturally. Do not let it tilt. Let it dry. Once confirmed secure, trim off the excess short yarn tails. Continue by inserting 1 pearl. 1 red bead. And 1 more pearl. Secure it approximately 2 cm away from the lower bead. Wait for it to set. If the hole is too loose to hold securely here, you can insert a piece of gold thread. Cut off the excess part. Wait until it is firmly fixed. Then leave a 4 cm space, and secure another group of beads. In the same way as before. For the swatch, we won't thread the gold yarn here. After completing, thread to the edge of the butterfly, about 0.5 cm away from the previous threading position. Just leave the excess tail on top. The second string of wind chime is complete. For the remaining wind chimes, refer to the chart and thread them one by one using the same method. On the beaded string, you'll encounter a pearl pendant below. Glass ball, cabbage leaves, petals and other accessories. The method is the same as threading through the glass leaves here. The group of beads on top needs to be threaded first. And secured in place. Then space other beads at a certain distance above. Remember to secure them. The specific length of the intervals can be adjusted according to your preference. If there's a pearl above the aluminum tube, remember to secure it. Everyone complete this step. That concludes the explanation of the wind chime accessories. Once all wind chimes are secured, adjust to your desired length. In the swatch, the length is random. Tidy up the excess gold thread. Take out the hook. Position the small loop of the bottom button facing downward. Thread through all the gold threads. Place it in the middle dent above the butterfly. Tie a knot with the gold thread. Leave a short tail, trim off the excess gold thread. Glue this part securely to the backside of the butterfly. Make sure the hook is positioned correctly. Now the hook is fixed in place. Next, take out another butterfly. Right side facing up. Align with the butterfly that has the wind chime attached, wrong sides facing each other. Glue securely. First align them properly. Glue bit by bit from the inside out. Make sure the edges match up exactly. Repeat this process. Attach both butterflies completely. Everyone finish this step. Finally, take out the bouquet. Vertically secure it onto the butterfly's body. The front and back bouquets need to be aligned. Just attach them securely. The assembly of the wind chime has been explained. Up to this point, the entire wind chime tutorial is explained. If you have any unclear parts during the crocheting process, any unclear points, don't hesitate to join our Facebook group to get supports. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience. Joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.